Chapter 15. I'm rethinking this whole stealing the wand thing. Does Ben actually love me? Like, for real? Yeah! In a classroom, Fairy Godmother strolled up to Mal and her three friends. Children, she said, excuse me, as you know, this Sunday is family day here at Oradon Prep, and because your parents can't come due to, distance, we've arranged for a special treat. She walked over to a TV monitor on a cart and clicked a keyboard. A Krotowski shot of Maleficent filled the entire screen. I don't see anything, said Maleficent, backing up to reveal Evil Queen, Jafar, and Cruella gathered around her. Nor do I hear, she said. Fairy Godmother beckoned Mal and her friends to the TV. They obeyed reluctantly, with Carlos carrying Dude, who was dressed in a jacket. Is this thing on? Asked Maleficent. It's broken. She clicked away at a remote and threw it down. I hate electronics. Evie! Shouted Evil Queen, watching as an image appeared on their dinky laptop. It's Mommy! Evie waved at the TV monitor. Look how beautiful, said Evil Queen. You know what they say, the poison apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Cruella cackled. Don't you mean the weeds? Said Maleficent. Oh, who's the old bat? Asked Cruella, pointing. That's Fairy Godmother, said Mal with a smile. Still doing tricks with eggplants, said Maleficent. I turned a pumpkin into a beautiful carriage, said Fairy Godmother. You really couldn't give Cinderella till 1 a.m., said Maleficent. I mean, really. The little hamsters had to be back on their little wheels? Maleficent, Evil Queen, Jafar, and Cruella laughed. They were mice, said Fairy Godmother. They were mice. Hi, Mom, said Mal. Mal! Maleficent shouted. Evil Queen tapped Maleficent's horns as a reminder to calm down and be discreet. Miss you, said Maleficent. Jafar said, you children are never far from our thoughts. I got it, said Maleficent told Jafar coldly. She turned and spoke to Mal. How long must Mommy wait to see you? You know Mommy's not good at waiting. There's a big coronation coming up, said Mal. I think probably sometime after that. Evil Queen's face lit up. When? She asked. I still got this, Maleficent told her. She spoke to Mal. When? Is there an echo in here? Said Evil Queen. Friday, 10 a.m., said Mal. You sure I can't see you before that? Said Maleficent sweetly. I don't know what I'll do if I don't get my hands on that magic wall. Evil Queen tapped Maleficent's horns again. You little nugget that I love so much, Maleficent said with a smile. Jafar, Cruella, and Evil Queen made kissy faces. Yes, I completely understand, Mother, said Mal. Cruella leaned over Maleficent and spoke on into the monitor. Carlos, is that a dog? She consulted the bejeweled stuffed animal dog head on her vest. Yes, baby, I do understand. It would make the perfect size for earmuffs, she cackled. He's the perfect size for a pet, said Carlos fiercely, hugging Dude close. This dog loves me, and I love him, and FYI, your dog is stuffed, so give it a rest. Cruella stroked Baby. Her lips trembled. Jafar laughed. Oh, burn, he said. Oh, why don't you go sell a toaster, you two-bit salesman? Cruella told him. People who talk to stuffed animals shouldn't throw stones, said Jafar. Oh, well, people who sell toasters shouldn't use mixed metaphors, said Cruella. Enough, said Evil Queen. Mal and her friends stood in front of the monitor, shifting their weight and looking at each other embarrassed. Jay hit the keyboard. The monitor went black. I'm so sorry, said Fairy Godmother. Jay turned to Fairy Godmother. Thanks for the special treat. He, Mal, Evie, Carlos, and Dude headed out of the classroom, leaving Fairy Godmother behind. Said Evie, what do you think our parents are going to do to us if we don't pull this off? Mal paused. I think they will be quietly disappointed in us, but ultimately proud of us for doing our best, she said with a smile. Really? Said Carlos with hope in his voice. No, I think we are definitely goners, said Mal, her smile sliding away. They stomped back to Jay and Carlos's dorm room and began plotting. The group gathered around a table and examined Mal's sketches and a drawn diagram of the cathedral where the coronation would be taking place. Mal had drawn X's and arrows all over it, a detailed plan of the wand snatch. At the center of the map, Mal had drawn a picture of her hand reaching for the wand that fairy godmother held. I will be in the very front, said Mal. You all will be up in the balcony. Carlos? Okay, so I'll find our limo so we can break the barrier and get back on the island with the wand, said Carlos. Jay looked at him thoughtfully. Perfect, said Mal. She lifted a small atomizer, which looked like a pale blue bottle of perfume, and offered it to Evie. Evie, you will use this to take the driver out, said Mal. She handed the atomizer to Evie. 2 sprays and he will be out like a light. Mal looked at Carlos, who looked at Jay, who looked at Evie, who looked at Mal. Mal sighed, sat down at the table, and turned to a page in the spell book that read How to Break a Love Spell. Evie peeked at what Mal was reading. You want to break Ben's love spell? She asked. Yeah, for after, said Mal. Carlos sat on his bed with Dude. Jay sat on his bed with his turning stick. Evie sat down next to Mal. I've just been thinking, when the villains finally do invade Oridon and begin to loot and kick everyone out of their castles, said Mal. Jay spun his turning stick. And imprison their leaders, continued Mal. Carlos absently stroked Dude. And destroy all that is good and beautiful, Mal said. Evie took a deep breath and stared off. Ben still being in love with me just seems a little extra cruel, Mal said. Evie looked long and hard at her friend. Mal closed her spellbook and headed back to their dorm room. Evie followed shortly after. Jay flicked off all the lights and climbed into bed. Then he got up and walked over to his tourney trophy. Carlos patted Dude. In the girls' dorm room, Evie lay in bed awake. She pulled the chemistry test out from under her pillow and reveled in the B+ again. The other bed was empty. Mal was in the kitchen stirring a potion. The spellbook was open. Alone and lonely, Mal finally allowed herself to feel, and her heart was breaking. She knew it wasn't right for Ben to be under her love spell. She felt guilty and horrible about it. Enchanting him was a rotten thing to do, one she couldn't bear any longer. Ben was good and kind and deserved to be spell-free, even if it meant he no longer loved her. A tear rolled down her face and dropped into the chocolate batter. Next to the bowl was a beautiful little blue box. She'd break the love spell right before the coronation. As for stealing the wand, she wasn't so sure she'd be able to walk away from that one.